أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. This is the legendary military ideology of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are picking up from page number 547. Please do take the time to go over all of the videos pertaining to this particular series, which is the legendary military series of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as well as the legendary series of the prophets alayhimussalatu wassalam, from Adam until Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is none other than your humble orator Muhammad Israel. We're picking up on chapter 5, governors at the time of the commander of the believers, the Amirul Mu'mineen, Ali ibn Abi Talib, the door of the city of knowledge, one of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, given glad tidings of entering paradise while he was alive. He was the fourth leader for the believers after the notorious Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu, as well as the substantiator of truth and justice, our Sayyid Umar ibn al-Khattab, and then the empire of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then none other than the beholder of two lights, because he married two daughters from the household of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan radiyallahu anhu. And now we're picking up on chapter 5, again, regions of the state and the governors who are under him. Makkah al-Mukarram, when Uthman bin Affan radiyallahu anhu was martyred, the governor of Makkah was Khalid ibn Sa'id ibn al-As. Ali radiyallahu anhu issued a decree dismissing him, and he appointed Abu Qatada al-Ansari as governor of Makkah. It seems that his governorship only lasted a short time, because when Ali radiallahu anhu wanted to leave Medina and go to Iraq, he dismissed Abu Qatada and sent Qadham ibn al-Abbas to be the governor of Makkah. Thus the governorship of Abu Qatada lasted approximately 2 months, and not much is narrated concerning that period. Most of the sources that speak about the governorship of Qatham ibn al-Abbas over Makkah mentioned that Ali radiallahu anhu, may Allah ta'ala be pleased with him, appointed him as governor of Makkah, At-Ta'if, and the surrounding regions at the same time. The reports that were narrated about Makkah during Ali's Caliphate, his governorship, has to do with Hajj and who was in charge of the pilgrimage. There is no report that Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu attended Hajj during his Caliphate, because he was preoccupied with the turmoil that had broken out throughout the Islamic State, and this situation had not settled down. During the Hajj season, he would send someone to lead the pilgrims. It seems that Qatham ibn al-Abbas led the people in Hajj in the year 37 AH only. Ali radiallahu anhu sent Abdullah ibn Abbas to lead the pilgrims in 36 of AH after the Hijriya, and Ubaydullah ibn al-Abbas in 38 al-Hijriya, although the sources differ concerning the year in which of them made each of them made the pilgrimage. In the 39th year after the Hijriya, he sent Muawiyah, one of his commanders, in Syria. So in the 39th year after the Hijriya, he, meaning Amirul Mu'mineen, sent Muawiyah, one of his commanders, in Syria with the pilgrims from Syria, and told him to lead the people in Hajj. When he reached Mecca, he had a dispute with Qatham ibn Abbas. Fighting would have broken out were it not for the efforts of some of the companions to bring about reconciliation between them on the basis that Hajj will be led by one of Banu Shaybah. Thus the pilgrimage ended peacefully and no fighting occurred. So someone sent to Muawiyah, one of his commanders in Syria, So in the 39th year after the Hijriya, he sent Muawiyah, one of his commanders in Syria, with the pilgrims from Syria. So I believe this is Muawiyah sending one of his commanders, because Muawiyah was in Syria. So maybe that's a typo. And then when that commander reached Syria, him and the governor almost broke up with the fighting. Interesting. Qatham ibn al-Abbas remained the governor of Mecca until the arrival of Muawiyah's army led by Bisr ibn Artah, whereupon he fled, fearing for his life. Thus Qatham's governorship ended, and Mecca was no longer under the authority of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. Ali radiallahu anhu sent some troops to recapture Mecca, but he radiallahu anhu was martyred before the mission could be accomplished. Very interesting. Al-Madinah. During the time of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the three prior caliphs who succeeded him, Medina was the capital of the Islamic State. The leader of the Muslimin lived there and ran its affairs himself. When he traveled, he would appoint someone to run its affairs. However, this situation changed after allegiance was sworn to Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu. The general state of confusion after the murder of Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu meant that Ali radiallahu anhu had to leave Al-Madinah, especially after Talha and Zubayr and Aisha radiallahu anhum left and headed towards Iraq before the Battle of the Camel. Ali radiallahu anhu appointed Sahal ibn Hanifa al-Ansari in charge of Al-Madinah according to some reports, but we do not know how long Ibn Hanifa remained in that position. It seems that his governorship lasted for more than 1 year, since it was narrated that he was in charge of Al-Madinah in the 37th year after the Hijriyah. After dismissing Sahal ibn Hanif, Ali ibn Abi Talib, the commander of the believers radiallahu anhu, appointed Tamam ibn al-Abbas. Later he appointed Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, and he remained the governor of Al-Madinah until the 40th year after the Hijriyah, when an army sent from Syria by Muawiyah was led by Bisr ibn Arta arrived in Medina. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari fled from Medina and went to join Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu in Kufa. Thus Medina slipped from the control of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu and came under the control of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, who was the governor of Syria. So at the time of Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, Medina changed from being the seat of the Khalifa to being one of the provinces, and political events began to take place far away from it. Hence we find that the historical sources ignored it during that period until Muawiyah's army managed to capture it. Bahrain and Oman. So we're going to get to the dispute between Muawiyah and Ali, the two cousins. We will get to that eventually, but we still have some way away, so bear with us here. And it's interesting, I just would like to make the note, compared to the legendary series prior to this one, the ideology does take its time. And if we look at the various videos and their components, we are going to find that this is going to be the most extensive one. The ideology is very important in order to understand the military science and resilience to begin with. When Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu, because now we are going on to Bahrain and Oman. When Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu was martyred, Bahrain belonged to the Emirate of Basra, and Ibn Amir used to appoint some of his workers to govern it. While Ali ibn Abi Talib was the Khalif, he appointed a number of governors in charge of Bahrain, one of the most important of whom was Umar ibn Abi Salama. He set out from Medina with Ali radiallahu anhu during his journey to Iraq. Then Ali radiallahu anhu sent him to govern Bahrain for a period of time. Later he was summoned to accompany Ali on his Iraq expedition. Other employees of Ali in Bahrain were Qudama ibn al-Ajlan al-Ansari and An-Nu'man ibn al-Ajlan al-Ansari. Ali radiallahu anhu also appointed Ubaidullah ibn al-Abbas to govern Bahrain. He was the governor of Yemen, so perhaps Bahrain in Najd also came under his governorship at that time. This may be understood from what At-Tabarani said and what Khalifa ibn Khayyat said may be understood on the basis that he did not know about the correct order of these governors. The sources mention the names of some men whom Ali radiallahu anhu sent to Oman, one as a governor and the other as a commander of troops to suppress one of the rebellions that were launched against Ali ibn Abi Talib in Oman. There was also a man in charge of Al-Yamama, and it may be that he was working under the governor of Bahrain. 1.4 Yemen, because Yemen will fall there. Huh? The people of Yemen today, when Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu, Sayyidina Uthman bin Affan was martyred and allegiance was sworn to Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu as Caliph, he appointed Ubaidullah ibn al-Abbas radiallahu anhu as governor of Yemen. Uthman's governors left Yemen before Ubaidullah ibn Abbas got there. Some of them joined Talha and Az-Zubayr in the army of the Battle of the Camel, and they played a role in equipping their army. Ubaidullah ibn Abbas was the governor of Sana'a and its surrounding areas, and his fellow governor was Sa'id ibn Sa'd ibn Ubaidah al-Ansari, who was in charge of the troops. The murder of Uthman radiallahu anhu had a far-reaching effect on the Muslimin in Yemen, who felt disappointed and upset by this crime. Some of the Yemenis did not swear allegiance to Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu and only wanted to kill the killers of Uthman radiallahu anhu. When that was delayed, they corresponded with Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan after the arbitration, and he sent Bishr ibn Arta'a, who managed to gain control over Yemen with their help. This only lasted for a short time though, before Ali radiallahu anhu managed to take it back from the army of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan and restore Ubaidullah ibn al-Abbas as its governor once again. He remained in that position until Amirul Mu'minin, the commander of the believers, Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu, was martyred. It was narrated that Bisr killed two sons of Ubaidullah ibn al-Abbas and some of the supporters of Ali in Yemen. Then he went back to Syria. Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib had sent Jariyah Ibn Qudama as-Sa'di. It was said that he did the same as Bisr had done and killed some of the supporters of Uthman in Yemen. Ibn Kathir said, this report is well known to the biographers, but there is some doubt as to its soundness. Undoubtedly, the killing of innocent people was not the norm at that time. Even in the battles of the Camel and Siffin, when fighting broke out between the two sides, how could children and innocent people be killed at the time of truce? Hence, we cannot accept these stories that are contrary to Muslim customs, values, and religion. 1.5 Syria. Muawiyah ibn radiallahu anhu was governor of Syria during the Khalifa of Umar and Uthman, may Allah be pleased with them. When Ali radiallahu anhu was appointed as Khalifa, he wanted to dismiss him and appoint Abdullah ibn Umar instead. But Abdullah ibn Umar refused to accept the governorship of Syria. He gave his apologies, mentioning the close ties of kinship and marriage that existed between them. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu anhu respected his wishes. And for those who do not know, the daughter of Ali radiallahu anhu actually married Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab. So he's basically, I mean, they're very close kins in kinship. Something that, Muslimin today should, well, they are real Muslimin out there. We just have not come as one body just yet. We will all get it, inshallah. But yes, Sayyidina Ali and Sayyidina Umar, they intermarried each other's female family members, because this was Sayyidina Umar bin al-Khattab's plea to stay within the family of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's why to our Shia listeners, there really is no such thing as deviation between the real companions. Ali ibn Abi Talib was who he was, and he loved the companions, all of them. He read the ayah وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ. Those who make dua for those who came before them, and ask that malice is not put in their hearts for believers. So that's why we need to stop ridiculing one another and finding fault, Shia, Sunni. Where are the Muslimin between it? But let's get back to it. Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib respected his wishes and did not force him to go to Syria. As for the reports claiming that Ali reviled or insulted Abdullah ibn Umar for adopting a neutral stance instead of taking his side, they represent a distortion of the facts and seem to be blatant lies. The most that can be said concerning the issue of Abdullah ibn Umar and the governorship of Syria is that which was narrated by Ad-Dahabi through Sufyan ibn Uyayna from Umar ibn Nafi from his father that Ibn Umar said, Ali radiallahu anhu sent for me and said, O Abu Abdurrahman, you are a man whom the people of Syria would obey. So go therefore, I have appointed you over them. I said, I urge you by Allah Jalla Jalaluhu and by my ties of companionship to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam to let me off of this task. Ali radiallahu anhu refused, so I sought the help of Hafsa, her sister. But still he refused. And Hafsa is the sister of Hafsa is the daughter of Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, married to Rasoolu'Allahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if yours truly is totally accurate about that. So I departed at night for Mecca. This offers definite evidence that Ibn Umar had sworn allegiance to Ali radiallahu anhuma and come under his authority. Otherwise, how would Ali seek to appoint him if he had not sworn allegiance to him? Inshallah, we will end this one here at page number 552. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسم ربك وتعالى جدك ولا إله غيرك ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.